Doom Eternal, or not Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages. There's quite a lot of levels, but I've played about like 6-7 levels, I think, so far. I haven't done a lot, but I've played a chunk of it to kind of get used to it. And it's that thing that I was sort of not worrying about, but it's something I kind of prepped myself for. It's a very different game to Doom Eternal. Now, Doom Eternal to me is the best first-person shooter I've ever played. I love Doom Eternal so much. I know a lot of people don't like Doom Eternal because it's so fucking extreme, and it's blows your head sometimes because there's so many like buttons, there's so many things you gotta like remember, and it's fast paced, and it's got a lot it's a lot to wrap your head around. And like at times Lime actually reminded me this the other day. She said, I remember when you first played Doom Eternal when it first came out, and you had to take breaks after every fight because it would just, I now completely forgot about that. I literally had to stop playing for like 10 minutes because my brain was just fried, because you have to remember so many things and button combinations and when to press things and when to do this. And it does fry your brain a lot, but I fucking loved every minute of it. And then Doom the Dark Ages is like, it's not entirely slow. It reminds me kind of like of rhythm games a little bit more. When you see this color on screen, press this button. Or when this is near you, press this button. It's a lot more like that. Normally you expect with like each iteration of a game, like Doom 1, 2, 3, whatever, what you want to call it. It's like Doom Eternal, Doom Dark Ages. You look for them to build on things and each one to make it better, like most sequels do. Like, you know, you play the first game in the series and then you play the last game in the series. There's a huge variety of like add-ons or quality of life stuff or whatever it might be. But Doom is a weird one because every single Doom is just very different. I would say probably with the exception of the first Doom, the Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is the closest thing to it's kind of like Eternal, but just Eternal's more on drugs. Eternal's like Doom 2016 but on drugs. Doom Dark Ages is like is the most, it is even more different than the previous two games. So it's like it's trying to get used to that whole control change and how you're using the shield anymore. And there's a lot more things that I would do in Doom Eternal where I'd be running around trying to find equipment or trying to like get a flanking position or like just basically moving really, really quickly in Doom Eternal. And in Doom Dark Ages, more the whole tagline with it is stand and fight. And that's really accurate to what you do because you literally are blocking damage now, which you've never done in a Doom game. So you sit there with your shield, which does have like a cooldown or a health bar until you can't use it anymore. But a lot of what I'm doing in that game is just down to the shield. I do feel like the problem with the game, and I don't know if this is going to be the case throughout the entire thing, but it's kind of showing it early on, is that the shield is like too much of like an important thing. Like it's important, but it's like too much of an important thing to the point where I feel like the guns are secondary. And I don't like that because to me, the guns should be the first thing, the most important thing. Doom Eternal, the guns felt like the most important thing. I don't know if it's whether maybe until I get upgrades and make them a bit more fun and stuff and add stuff to them, then they become like, oh, you got to use them a bit more. But with this game, it's sort of like I'm sat there with a shield, holding a shield, and then I can also attack with my shields. And so the guns just feel like sort of, and you always have to have your shield up most of the time because the game does this thing where I would say like the one big improvement with it, or like actually it's two. The thing that you could pick that makes the game a lot different from the previous two is one, the graphics and the way it looks, the scale of it. So there's it's a lot more bigger battlefields, a lot more like just wide open. So there's more enemies on the screen. So it's all about like putting more enemies on the screen for you to fight. Whereas the other previous games were sort of like, here's a stage or here's like an arena that's not super big, but it's, you know, it's got levels. You know, 8 enemies are going to spawn in, and then after you kill them, another 8 are going to spawn in. This one is more like, here's everything all at once. And then here's a bunch of people all at once. Decide how you're going to attack them and stuff like that. And so you end up using the shield a lot more because there's so many more enemies. Problem I think it runs into is that because there's so many enemies, you don't know where the kind of firing's coming from a lot. It does have indicators on the screen and all that, but I'm having a real hard time trying to like figure out where I need to put my shield. You know, even though it's there, I always have my shield up the entire time because I'm just sort of like moving around trying to block damage and see where it's come from. So the speed is still kind of there, but the speed is just, instead of being converted into movement speed, the speed is now being converted into this game of blocking. How quickly can you block the damage that's coming at you? And also press the shield button in a very specific time when a specific color of the bullet comes at your Doom guy so you can deflect it. It's different. I don't hate it. I don't think I hate it. I think it's just a different way of playing it. And I kind of, as I said, I kind of applaud that each of the 3 Doom games that have come out since the reboot are different. Like, you can always have your favorite. And I know a lot of people's favorite is still the 2016 Doom. Mine's Eternal. And I know some people's favorite will be this game because it is very different. But it will suit I think it will suit a certain type of player. I'm very much on the Eternal side where it's chaotic and I kind of love the chaos of it. Whereas someone else who didn't enjoy the chaos side of Doom Eternal will kind of look at Doom Dark Ages and go, oh, this is a lot more kind of slowed down, but like in a way where you don't have to panic all the time. You can kind of think about things because you got a shield up, and because you got a shield up, you can go, right, what do I need to do next? In Doom Eternal, you can do any of that shit. Especially playing on like Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare difficulty or Nightmare difficulty. You definitely couldn't do that. I need to play more of it to really get like a better understanding of it. It runs really, really well on the forgot the card, on 2070 Super. So I think the 2070 was on the minimum requirements. I think just the standard 2070 I think was on the minimum requirements. So that's kind of made my mind up for what card I need to get anyway. But yeah, no, it's running absolutely fine. It looks great. The graphics look insane. It's presentation wise, massive leap forward. Like, it looks really, really cool. Lots of cutscenes, maybe a bit too much cutscenes, but there's like a lot more kind of focus on story this time around. I don't know whether the story is going to be good. Hasn't really got me hooked yet, but I'm still early days with it a little bit, so it's still fun. It's still fun though. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to playing it. I will kind of reserve my thoughts really until I finish it.